They didn't have to do that man like that. And they did. Sad, man. Sad, sad state of affairs in America today. When the people that are supposed to be protected and served are neglected and brutalized. I couldn't think of the word I wanted to use. But that's the reason why the district councils exist. Because police brutality still exists. The mistreatment of the community still exists. Then inadequate service still exists. And they still ain't changed it yet. But you got some really good, viable candidates that have been inside community for a long time in a lot of different ways that's willing to be of service to the community. Because y'all got to know, elected officials get it worse than anybody. You think you get some scrutiny. No, you haven't faced the type of scrutiny that comes from being an elected official because everybody believes that the job is yours and yours alone to fix, not understanding that it's a community. The community put us in that place, but then they decided that I got you there. I'm gonna take a step back and let you finish. It don't work like that. We gonna need all the help that we can get, especially when we talking about a city as corrupt as Chicago. Trying to face an element as racist as the Chicago Police Department that has history of being very racist. We got 30 days left in order to make change. And it's coming because this ordinance was created to just do that, to create some change. Now, I will say this. We ain't going to have a whole lot of power, and that's okay because an individual can't have all the power, but the people do. So if the people decide that they really want to support us as district councilors and decide to get behind us and we continue to use this energy of what's happening today in policing as a catalyst, because this ordinance got passed on the back of Rakia Boyd, Laquan McDonald, and others that have befallen to the different police departments in their state. George Floyd, and now Tyree Nichols. And there's some other individuals that we haven't even mentioned because the list is way too long. But those names are the reasons why we're here today and the reasons why when Chicago passed empowering communities with public safety and created the district councils and subsequently created the community commission, we were like, okay, change is coming and it's here. 30 days away. 30 days away. So we hoping that y'all gonna do what y'all supposed to do. Get out there and vote. We know y'all ain't gonna do it though. Because if we gotta be honest with ourselves, and that's all we can be, only 33% of the community comes out when it's time to make decisions. Congressman Davis, I don't know where, he was downstairs too. That's part of the reason why the thing took so long. Now, Congressman Davis say you either make a decision or you get decided for. In Chicago, we ain't got a whole lot of decision makers. Because when it comes time to make decisions, people don't go to that ballot. And I get it. I get the disenfranchisement and everything else that comes with it. Oh, ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing happening. That's because we ain't involved. We don't have a relationship with the process. Politics is a relationship that you must cultivate over time. Like I always tell people, it didn't dawn on me that politics was relationship building until I sat back and thought, like when I was a shorty, I would say, excuse me, let me go politic with that man right there. That's talking. When you talk to somebody, you build a relationship with them. That's inevitable. That could be a positive or negative relationship, but it's still a relationship. And that's all politics is, man. The relationships to get to the resources. Our community needs that. We always talk about the aldermen and the people that represent us only doing for the people that they know. No, they really only do for the people that actually show up. You got to be involved. When them numbers come out and they look at the precincts and see which precincts had the best voter turnout, which ultimately elected them, where do you think they going? Oh yeah, you know what? Let me go help these people that didn't decide that it was important enough to make a decision on who they want to represent them. Nah, it don't work like that. That's why we shortchanged in politics. We don't understand it. We don't have a relationship with the process. Get your ass out there and make a difference, man. Make a decision. That's all. It ain't nothing but a 5-minute decision. Now, early voting via mail-in ballot started already. February 13th, you can start to go to the super site within your ward. February 28th, you got all day to make a decision. They done made the process just slightly easier. There are some states where they're trying to take it where you can't even vote. But not in Illinois. We ain't taking it away yet. But what if it did get taken away? Would it matter? Because, again, less than half of us come out and vote. If we had half of the people in our community to come out and vote, that would be earth-shattering. Everybody would get up the next morning and think the apocalypse is upon us. That's just how much we not involved with that process. The number's so dismal. We have about a 27% turnout in 37th Ward. That's about 6,000 people. Now, mind you, there's 55,000 people per ward, slightly under in some cases. We have about 33,000 of them that's typically registered to vote, but only 7,000 come out. You do the math. Dismal numbers. There's a direct correlation between what you have in your community and your voting. If you go up north and you look at their voter turnout, much higher than it is on the west side. We can't always blame the system for holding us down if we don't want to be involved in the system and build that relationship. So I say we need to go out and make things happen. We have a system in place, the district councils and the community commission, that will give us civilian-led oversight of Chicago police for the first time in Chicago's history, and we got to make it happen. People got to show up. In the 11th district, you got to get Elise in there. In the 15th district, you got to get DeAndre in there. In the 25th district, you got to get Angelica in there. Yeah. It's just that simple, man. Do your work. I told y'all my new saying is you got to show them your work so can't nobody say you plagiarizing. You got to do your work out here. There's a lot of people that's out there marching. It's getting cold. It's going to get colder. And they still going to be out here boost the ground marching. I'm one of them. I did something today. I'm going to do something tomorrow. And I'm going to do something every day for the next 30 days. Because I need my seat. People keep saying, oh, I see your signs there. Well, you going to get in there, DeAndre. That don't mean nothing. Don't mean a goddamn thing. That just means I know what I'm doing. But that don't mean them people going to vote for me. I don't know if them people want me to be their representative. I might be too loud for them. My hair might be a little too kinky. Yeah, I'm up here cutting up because I'm about myself. What's up, Barry? Talk to me. Guala? I hear you on here, Guala. What up, Guala? All right, y'all quiet tonight. So I'm going to keep going. Should I keep it going? I'm going to keep it going. So then in the 25th district, we got somebody that want to be racist. And he running for the district council. That's disrespectful. But you know what? The FOP is backing that man. The FOP is backing that man. That is very, very disrespectful to the community. But you know what? The FOP don't have a whole lot of black officers in it in the first place. And even if they did, what it matter? The officers that stopped Tyree Nichols, routine traffic stop, and beat that man to death was black. Would it matter? Sometimes I ask myself as a black man, when another black man puts on that uniform, does he become a blue man? And I ain't talking about the Blue Man Group, because I went to go see them guys, and I like them playing on the instruments and doing all the crazy stuff that do. And that's a real, and listen, if y'all ain't never been to the Blue Man Group, that y'all should do a date with your significant other or something like that, because it's actually pretty fun. That's actually a good time. It really is. But beyond all of that, though, when they put that badge on, that uniform on, does a black man become blue? Because ain't no way in hell you don't have humanity for your brother. How 5 black men whoop on that man like that to kill him, man? And they supposed to be preserving and protecting. They supposed to be better than that. Man, they went out there and whooped that man like he was in a gang initiation. Man, this stuff sad, man. And then we got the FOP endorsing a candidate who believes it's funny to retweet himself dressed up in the Klansman outfit to talk about misogynistic themes and prostitution and pedophilia. And he's a lawyer. But you know what? You know who ain't talking? A whole lot of political figures. Because the lawyers know where the body's at. He might know where the dirt at. And they ain't talking a lot. So the NAACP has gotten involved. And I'm glad that they did too, because in some respects, you'd be like, where is the NAACP? What exactly are they doing? They hosted a mayoral forum over the weekend. It was pretty decent. Jamal Green was shooting a lot of shots at Brandon Johnson. It was really Southside. He came over. He was Southsiding a lot. I don't understand. It was pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was fairly weird in my estimation as to why this man was sitting there attacking this other man. But I will tell you what happened. What I saw him make Paul Vallis look real good. And Paul Vallis is starting to climb the charts, y'all. So pay attention to that. I came away, and there's 9 candidates for public office for mayor right now. I say we got the elite tier. Paul Vallis done made it to the elite tier. So you got the elite tier, which is Chewy, Lori, and Paul Vallis. Then you got the top tier, which is Brandon, Roderick Sawyer, and Willie Wilson. Then you got the bottom tier, that's Jamal Green, Cam Buckner, Sophia King. Now, Brandon was elite. He was elite, but he's since losing a little bit of steam. You know what I mean? Now, that's just me being like a little political pundit, kind of being tied to some of these things. I'm just really talking. They need another poll, because when that first poll came out, the energy was real. It was palpable. If you involved, you would know. But Paul Vallis is starting to make his way up. Hey, these forums have made him look good, y'all. So he done kind of leapfrog Brandon into elite tier now. Lori gets placed right there because, I mean, she the one that's made so much happen for the South and West Side. You can't neglect her. I understand. Y'all don't like the fact that woman said she had a big wood. Y'all don't like that. She told them Italian man she got the biggest wood in the city of Chicago. Another weird thing to say, but she said it. And y'all don't like it. But my thing is this. She still can't be discounted. Don't discount TT Lori with the big suits. I know she be at K&G getting her suits. But that's all right, though. Because she ran this city now. And she did a lot for the South and West Side. Then you got Then you got Chewy. Chewy is just like everybody like Chewy. And it's like, that's cool. But Chewy did not come out to the mayoral forum that was hosted by the NAACP on the heels of Tyree Nichols. Now, I get that you have to strategically plan where you're going to go, because you can't go everywhere. You can't. It's just, I mean, that's just how it goes. But the opportunity that you had to come to the Austin community to at least talk to the people about what you're going to do for them, you missed out on. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Us, black folk, we want to see the real you. We want to see how you act under circumstances where we want to hear from. We wanted to hear from you, Chewy. We wanted to hear from you. Now, you are elite tier, and that's because you're going to get about 90% of the Hispanic vote. You're going to land that. We know that. We know that for a fact. And you're going to get a lot of progressives. You're going to get that. But you let us down, man. You let us down. But Paul Vallis is really starting to separate itself as it relates to the forums. That's what these forums are good for. I'm so looking forward to the 29th Ward Forum next week because we got a chance tonight. Again, the reason why we was late is I'm very loud. Wait a minute. Oh, why you ain't tell me I was loud? Oh, I think I was just loud to the people on. Oh, maybe I was just loud on the YouTube, but you know, I be wilding sometimes too. But I'm by myself. So I'm just saying, like, the thing is, Paul Vallis is starting to look good. So he kind of leapfrogged Brandon Johnson and put himself up in the elite tier. But Brandon Johnson is still top tier, you know? And don't get it twisted about what a support at. I'm West Side all day, you feel me? I'm West Side all day. But I just understand how this thing works, though. And we can't be sitting here lying to ourselves as if there ain't three different categories: elite, top, and bottom tier. But Brandon Johnson has a very, very crucial opportunity in the next 30 days ahead of him. And I think he can do it. He's gonna need a lot of support though. But I think he could do it. But going back to it though, we got a racist in the 25th district who thinks it's funny to be sexist, homophobic, misogynistic, and of course racist. And the FOP backs him. And we consistently have issues when it relates to black and brown relationships with the police departments in their city. And nobody's talking about this in national media. Not just national media, more local. Because, the national media coverage is covering Tyree Nichols, rightfully so. But that incident should really propel the district councils a little further. And I don't want to speak out of turn. I am speaking a little bit selfishly, knowing that I'm running for that position. But I'm also speaking from a position of saying, like, where is the coverage for this so important, this very important position that has never been established until last year, where civilians actually have the ability to do something about the way they're policed. In Austin, people are stopped unfairly and they're ticketed more. Therefore, they have boots placed on their cars. Therefore, they're losing their jobs. Therefore, they're going into debt unfairly. We also have really bad service. It sometimes takes over an hour for a call to be responded to, if it's responded to at all. Now, I know. We are down 1,700 officers. I get it. I know. But those numbers still don't look that way up north. They have slower service too. It ain't as slow as it is on the west side and south side. So all we asking for is a little bit more equity. All we want is for people to treat us the same way in our community that they do in the more affluent communities. Yeah, go ahead and jump in. Elise, what's up?
Yeah, so all I wanted to point out really quickly is before we were down 1,700 officers, right? This was the case. This has been the trend for years as far as our, call for service and the time in which it takes for them to get to us. So, I hate when people use that excuse, well, this is where we are now. So that's your greatest excuse now, but this has been the trend in our experience for years, on top of years, on top of years, on top of years.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. You're right about that. That's where we are now. But yeah, it does not excuse the years, the foundation upon which this was built on. I mean, I don't know all of the names of the people that were high-ranking officers that treated community members like the lowest of the low. But even today, I talked to my mentor, and she was telling me about the position, and how she was so proud of me running for it because she was married to a black man. She's a white woman. She was married to a black man who told her about his dealings with Chicago police and how they would take them into, some of these black sites, which Holman used to have one. The very 11th district that you running for, Elise, used to have a black site where they take black men and they would coerce confessions out of them wrongfully, and they would beat the shit out of them, and they would tase their nuts and all type of graphic and horrific things that police did to black men to get confessions out of them that were not true. This happened. This is the foundation of the Chicago police. And now you have police officers who's scoffing at it because here's another form of oversight. Hey, man, if you did your job, then you won't have to worry about it. You shouldn't have a problem with the community having oversight over you. But you should also recognize why we feel that this was necessary, because you know the history as well. You can't mean to tell me that I'm a Chicago police officer and I come in believing that all Chicago police officers did was protect and serve the community. Come on now. The very foundation of policing itself was born on making sure that slaves stayed in line. That when they escaped, somebody would go chase them down and bring them back. And that history is still there. And it was there and probably still very much so present today. But because police officers have to go through so much racial training and implicit bias training and community workshops and cultural sensitivity training and anything else that can help them understand the community that they're trying to protect and serve, people think that those things have started to. No, they didn't. They didn't go away. You clearly got the FOP president, which, by the way, our FOP is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful in the country, who is a racist. Now, politics aside, because people be like, oh, he supports Trump and blah. I don't care about all that. I know black people that like Trump. So it is what it is. But he does some racist things and he says some racist things. So I'm not negating that fact. You know what I mean? You are who you associated with in some cases. That's why, like my ladies on here, they are part of the gang now. Because they all got endorsed by the same folks. What up, gang?
What up, though?
We here. Whoa. Hey, what's up, Constance?
Hey, DeAndre.
Man, we here. We here. Hey, Barry, I saw you come off on mute a little bit ago. You want to jump on, Barry?
Hey, DeAndre.
What's up, Barry?
You asked me to jump on before, but I couldn't get to unmute myself fast enough.
Oh, man, listen, we going to keep it going, man. We here now.
Yeah.
What's up, Barry?
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you for putting the energy and the time in to do what you're doing and make a difference. And police issues, police community issues is a really significant one. And I wish you a lot of luck.
Oh, yeah.
Assuming you're going to get in, that's just the beginning of how to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing is trying to get communication going and understanding and relationship building.
Yeah. Yeah. Relationship building.
He getting in, Barry. He getting in. Ain't no assuming. He getting in.
Hey, man, yeah. Hold on now. Don't butter my bread. I don't know what the look says. Y'all older people got, just earlier today I was well endowed. I didn't know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all older people just toss words around and say the darndest thing. So don't butter my bread. Don't sugar my loaf. I don't. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute.
I feel uncomfortable.
Me too. I'm uncomfortable. Too.
Yeah. Who are you talking about? Older people?
No, you had to be there. I'm actually joking. So it was funny, and so the congressman was talking about my family's history. So and again, I really didn't know about this until I got involved into the community relations and social justice advocacy work. But my auntie helped to establish an organization called the South Austin Community Coalition, and I'm missing one C in there somewhere, but it's called SAC. So he was mentioning that, and so as he was bringing me up, he was talking about my family's history, and he said that DeAndre is well endowed, and I was just like, wait a minute, because I don't know. I think it was a Freudian slip. You know what I mean? I think he said the wrong thing, so it was very funny, man. It was just that's all. So so it was funny. Just a funny thing.
I'll watch myself next time I say something like that.
Oh man, no, it was hilarious, man. It's all in good fun though, man. It's all in good fun, and Angelica, that's like big sis, so she just talking crazy, man. We just be having fun on that thing. But yeah, man. Um, so what's up, Constance? So y'all don't. Constance is also running for the 15th district. She has a lot of community advocacy work. So, Constance, we are on YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom, of course. So, if you want to just jump in and start having conversation, you can. I am not against any of that. How you feeling tonight?
Hello, everyone. I wish I wish I would have known this radio station was going on before I took all my, hair and makeup off. Okay. But I didn't know. I think it's a good thing that you're doing. I actually had called Angelica because your number is in my other phone.
Yeah.
And so I got a little joke for you after. I say fall flat.
I bet. So apparently we not 885 friends. So I get it. That's cool. I get it. I get it.
Clearly.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Hey, we got Monk on the line. My boy. What you on, Shoy? What up, Monk?
Chilling, man. Just jump on, man. What's the topic of conversation?
Nah, you know what? So we 30 days from the election, and I was just kind of giving my thoughts about the 30 days out and how come we not involved with the process of voting, and now spilling it a little bit into the Tyree Nichols situation and why these district councils are so important. And basically, that's kind of what we at, man. As a younger cat, man, yourself, I mean, a younger guy, man. Y'all, they hate when I say the word cat. You know what I mean? I was born in '87. What can I say? I'm kind of cool, I guess. But I think I don't know if it's okay to call people cats anymore. So anyway, now listen. As a younger man yourself, my thing is this: what does it take to get us out 30 and up? What would it take, in your opinion?
What you mean, get us out?
Get us out at the polls, because traditionally in our communities, this is one of the things that I spoke about. Each alderman represents about 55,000 people. Out of that, it's generally about 38,000 people that are registered voters. But every election day, you see a turnout of about 7,000. If you live in the 37th ward, you'd be about 9,000 if you live in the 29th ward. That's roughly about a 27 to 29% turnout. So it's less than a third of the people who's eligible to vote actually come out to vote. And leading that category of voters, of course, is 55 plus. And so there's been this big push to try to get people younger than that to get involved. But I think there's such a distrust and turnover by politics in general that people of that age range, younger than 55, just don't really want to get in. Maybe because they don't have enough information. Maybe they don't want to know things but they're just not involved. So my question is, how? Like, what do we need to be doing out here so that people can go to the polls and vote for DeAndre Rudis? And Constance, and Elise, and Angelica. I got it. Gang, 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 gang. I got it. Yeah.
All right, check it. So I feel like, some relatability would be nice. You feel me? Something that relates to, because I would guess you're talking about the millennial window,
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
And a lot of us millennials don't have the same values as the boomers and the others that came after us. So, the millennials, we are less prone to start families and get married. It's just because we millennials, we kind of grew up in the digital age. So you gotta be something that relates to millennials. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gotta be something that relates to millennials. I see a lot of us millennials wear like shirts with like funny sayings on them. So, if you can catch it that way, you know what I'm saying? A little comedy probably draws in.
But Mosaic, I got a question.
Yeah.
And and don't tell me up, because you will. When it comes to protest, the millennials are out there front line.
That's offending.
So I feel as if they were to be more proactive, getting out there and vote, opposed to being on the back end when something happens and protesting. We appreciate the front lines and the signs and the marching, but the other part of that is voting ahead of time. So the millennials come out, they gonna march, they gonna stump, they want to be on the news. So how do we get them to stump to the polls?
I would keep the same consistency. It's definitely got. Well, one key thing you said was millennials will come out to protest. So maybe you can kind of say, when you get into office, we're going to have certain protests a month for certain things that are benefit. So if you've seen millennials marching and protesting for certain things, well, I think, kind of throw out, hey, you know what? And if you guys want to do a protest and do this, we should have a little protest. You feel me? And a protest doesn't have to be something negative. It could be something, positive too. So that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? You could kind of do like monthly protests or put out there, we're going to have a march, a protest for XYZ. You feel me? If that's when millennials will come out and do things like that, then that's what I would promote a little bit, protest.
So can we would you recommend us saying, like, let's protest to the polls, let's get the signs?
Indeed.
Protest to the polls.
Protest to the polls, facts.
You know what? Yeah. I actually would.
Okay, I'm with that.
Well, protest to the polls, you feel me? You want to protest, come to the polls and protest. Who about the bam? And then, have some free there for us, something like free stuff.
Listen, we gonna eat, and it ain't gonna be cold, it's gonna be warm and cozy with good.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a question then, Mosaic. I mean, who you going for mayor, man?
And have you been to a mayoral forum yet?
Mosaic, who you going for mayor, man?
He don't
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. What up, gang?
Yeah. Who you said who am I going for mayor?
Yeah, you got 30 days to make a decision, man. Who you going for?
We're going with Willie Wilson, man.
Uncle Willie, solid.
We want Willie Wilson because Willie Wilson is a real black man.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? He looks like granddad. feel me? You know, say he lead with his pockets, what your man with his money supposed to do. If you're a man of substance, if you're a man of importance, you got money. If you're a man of money, you lead with your pockets. You know what I'm saying? I like how he do it. He a businessman, a respect businessman, and this is Chicago, so he's going to be tough on crime. You know, so he's going to be.
You done went out. Here, you went out. You went out. All right, so this guy said tough on crime.
But when he get back, I do want to know if he had the opportunity to listen and hear some of the other mayoral candidates.
Yeah. We definitely posed that. I think, so today I actually asked CB and Corey, who's both vying to be the 29th Ward alderman, with a future-focused lens, because I would like somebody to be in a position that has vision for the community. So with a future-focused lens, not trying to bring what we need now, but bringing what we need to be better situated for the future. What I asked both of them, what would that thing be that they try to deliver to this ward? And honestly, neither one of them could answer that. And I find that is the question that we need to ask of a lot of our electeds. Because when people start using hyperbole, such as visionary, you have to have a reason for being able to be called a visionary. And none of those fellas did that. I want to be clear about that. But
they call themselves that. That's the problem.
Yes.
No one else is really calling them that, right? Like, past after this, and I don't want to go churchy, right? But, and not to interrupt you, but to
no.
back off what you're saying, when they call themselves that, like, if you the man, ain't nobody got to call you the man. Everybody around you, as soon as they call you, DeAndre the man. You ain't got to walk around with no t-shirt on saying, I'm the man. And so kind of I think that's what a lot of that when people use those words like visionary and these extraordinary words, like, and what have you done to live up to this? And that's what I always question. So going back to what the young man was saying, his name is Mosaic.
Yeah.
Yeah, what he was saying, and I really hate to get into these when he's really talking politics. But
no. And so our show is really a community-based show for you to just talk. Like this is who I am. I'm talking. You know what I mean? Politics aside, I'm talking.
Okay.
Talk.
Okay. So just personally, what I think Willie Wilson is a solid vote, and it's sad because if he was a more polished man, even regardless of his age, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he looks like so old. It ain't like he's Dick Cheney old, right?
Right.
It's older people that's in politics, right? But just because of the fact that he's not as polished, I think that he gets kind of a lower rep. But anyone that we stand behind, especially as a committee and as a council, we need to ensure that mayor stands with this whole council being born. Because if a mayor gets in there, they're like, look, check, we don't need that. It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's agreed.
What do y'all think if we went to Willie Wilson as one thing the congressman said today, when they move and they go to ask for something, they move and they ask in numbers and they approach it like, hey, we would like to speak to you, Mr. President. So I think maybe put this a little bit off subject, but when you talk about the mayor, it just made me think of that. Like, we're not getting, district council positions are not getting a lot of media coverage. We're not being covered, it's not being put out there. But when Congressman said that today, it made me think, how about we all go as a unit and move like a unit and maybe go to Willie Wilson or one of the mayors and say, hey, look, we need some coverage. We need to make sure that this information is out there, opposed to us working so hard trying to get information out there. Willie Wilson would be a good person to do that with. So
I don't disagree. Actually, when I was at the forum now he's another one. He didn't come to the forum for the NAACP. Not a good look. I talked about Chewy not coming and having the opportunity to connect with the community and missing that opportunity. And I believe so did Willie Wilson. For whatever reason, he wasn't in attendance. And I know that there's another forum coming up February 4th in which at least 1,500 people were surveyed, and they had a part of developing the questions for the particular mayoral candidates. And again, he hasn't confirmed for that either. So he may miss two solid opportunities to reach out. Now, I did say I thought he was in the top tier list of candidates, and then I gave who I thought was in the elite tier. And Paul Vallis, he was one of the ones, when I approached him, I actually gave him material. I mean, y'all need to talk about this. And he was like, all right, we're going to, we'll give you a shout out or something. I don't know what he was saying. But I do think, regardless, that what you're saying is valid. We should go to whomever that is running for mayor. And again, selfishly, because I'm not trying to make light or utilize this brother's time to highlight what we're trying to do here in the city of Chicago, but the Tyree Nichols thing is very appropriate at the moment for us to use as a stance, so to speak, for us to be able to highlight this. You know what I mean? And I think because of this happening, because again, even at the forum, people acknowledged him, but they didn't acknowledge the district councils. I think if you would, in the same breath, talk about this happening to that young man, and then talk about the necessity of the district councils, and you got, like, for the life of me, you have 122 candidates running for district council, 66 of which will be chosen. If we heard any one of the mayoral candidates infuse their conversation and language around safety with the district councils while mentioning Tyree Nichols, we probably be a little bit more inclined to say, I like that person now. Because we're personally invested in that because of the races that we have going on. So it would make, I think it would make a considerable difference, especially because of what just happened recently, for candidates for mayor to start to talk a little bit more about the district councils and to appeal to those 122 people who also have people working with them or for them that will also be like, I like that they did that. But that's just me, as a political pundit. But we got Mosaic back on the line, man. Mosaic, they had a question for you in the field before you got disconnected. Elise, what was the question you had for that brother?
Yeah, the question that I had was, have you participated in any of the mayoral forums where you're able to listen in and get some information or background on any of the other mayors? Not to take away from Willie Wilson, I just wanted to know if there's some comparison there.
Yes, none of those people compare. Willie Wilson has been around longer than them. He was around, especially, he was very prevalent in the Austin area during COVID-19, and, he used his money to get PPE for some of the residents. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he went to New York, where you can, I know we was talking about it around that time. He went, I think, up to New York and then came back with some materials, but I know he brought, he was passing out COVID masks and doing things. And he's also a businessman. He actually ran the chain of a McDonald's. And so all that right there, and he's a man. We need a man. I have to say this: we do need a man in office, and he's gonna run it with an iron fist. And I just think we need that. I think that's the way Chicago needs to be. We got to kind of bring back a little bit of old schoolness, and people not gonna play with Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's not gonna just walk up to them or say anything. Like they just not like how Lori Lightfoot. She's a pushover. It's easy to play with Lori. Like she tries to come off as hard and tough, but I've seen some of the other candidates. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the young guy who's running up. I like him. The young what's his name? Drake.
J Mall.
Yeah, I like him. I like him because he looks like the people in the neighborhood, the young youth in the neighborhood. He got he got his hair dyed. He looks different. You know what I'm saying? And he's bringing that different element to politics, which is something different. That's what AOC did. You know what I'm saying? She brought that young spunkiness to politics and was able to garner up a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? A lot of money. And, became one of the top Democratic youngest Democrats hold office. So yeah, I've indulged in a few of the other candidates, but Willie Wilson he's been down for a while, so I think everybody needs to get behind Willie.
So one of the things that's difficult about Willie Wilson winning, outside of what Constance mentioned, was the polish. Because even the conversation that I had earlier with someone that was talking about him, and a lot of people bring it up. They say he can't speak very well, man. So that's going to always be a knock against him. It's been a knock. It's going to always be a knock. Unfortunately, I think he speaks the way that he needs to speak. I think as a man, you should shoot straight. And he shoots straight. It sounds crazy because
that's what it is. It ain't how you speak. It's he a straight shooter. You feel me? Trump, he was a straight shooter. People like to be coddled. People in this day and age, they like you to talk to them very nice and very, they don't like black men with bass in their voice. You feel me? You put bass in your voice, you disrespectful, or you mean, or you a black man and you assertive. I know what you're going for. You feel me? A lot of people in this society gets turned off by masculine black men. That's why we need to get him in office.
I think the conversations that I've had with black individuals who actually like him, who actually think that he does have, he does have heart for the community, but it really is about, politics are always about relationships. And when you don't have relationships, when people don't have the best opinions of you, and a lack of respect, it's hard for you to get things done. And so what they said is that they have felt as if his downfall really is his speech, the way in which he delivers, and how he talks. And so they like him as a person, like what he stands for, and they're not against him being a strong black man. It's just a strong black man that has a severe speech and is able to really, connect with all the white people.
That's a good point.
You know what it is?
Those people, I'm still like, they wasn't for him anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of people who can't talk. Joe Biden can barely get through one sentence. He's the president of the United States.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
But you know what it is? You know what it is?
Because we know he's smart. We know he's intelligent. We know he got the money. We know he's a businessman. We just said they like him as a person.
But you know why people go against? You know why people go against Willie? No, check this out.
Literacy. People equate literacy with ignorance.
They do.
And they don't trust it.
That's not it. That's not it.
And I came to you as West Side Connie, and I'm popping gum, and I'm doing whatever, and because I'm from Superior, Lamar, born and bred, right? But I also have to understand that I don't have to speak a kind of way, but to get to people. People don't respond to illiterate. Like, they see him as illiterate, and they see him as now that he's incompetent, and that he's not ignorant, but he's incompetent. Right, so they equate it to that he doesn't have a long education, or he hasn't read many books or things like that, which is sad. And I stand with Willie Wilson, but I think we're thinking about this the wrong way. let's think about it on a smaller level, right? Because we wouldn't even have to talk about who people were voting for if we were able to get all of our voters here. Just like you said, Biden is the president because people of another color don't react and think how we think, right? They take it for what it is, and if they're voting for it, that's who they're voting for. Let's rally our people so we really won't have to question if the person or the person that needs to be there is there. Because the Democratic way and the electoral system will push that, going back to Barack Obama, right? So if we start to rally our people, A, let's get people out there to vote. B, let's teach them who they voting for. When you go to the poll, people pick the eeny, meeny, mo. Okay? And I've heard even elected officials say that out there.
Okay.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. The real reason I think people ain't voting for Willie Wilson is because they see a reflection of themselves in him, and they don't want. They're ashamed of themselves, and that man ain't ashamed of who he is, but others are ashamed of who they are, and they see a reflection of themselves, and they. I'm telling you, I've had conversations with Willie Wilson, very intellectual person, has some great ideas, got tall money, obviously know how to be a great businessman to make the transition from food industry to medical industry.
Facts.
And I've heard a lot of great things. But the only thing I've ever heard from our own people is, well, the way he speaks. And I'm like, I talked to him one-on-one. I didn't have a problem understanding it. I mean, I don't get it. Other than they see a reflection of themselves.
Haters, whoever saying that, I guarantee you they ain't built no businesses like Willie Wilson. I bet you they ain't built business like Willie Wilson, and they ain't did more than Willie Wilson.
Nobody's not saying he's not a great businessman. No one.
And then you go back to Barack Obama, he's talking so sophisticated. Most black people didn't even understand that, brother. Couldn't even catch up.
No, I was saying the way that they were able to.
Wait, hold on. You have to stop cutting me off. That's what you have to do.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, thank you. So, but again, Barack Obama, as elegant as he was, black people wasn't watching his State of the Union. They wasn't watching what Barack Obama was saying, and a lot of black people probably ain't even did enough schooling to be able to understand some of the vernacular that Barack Obama was saying. So I don't understand. We get by.
Well, let me say this.
All of our music, nobody in music. Our leaders, Beyonce, them, they don't talk all elegant.
But let me say this.
The only when it comes to a black man trying to run up into this office and mayor, we ain't gonna vote for him.
But you gotta say this. Mosaic, you gotta say this about Barack Obama. He knew how to switch it up. He could talk. You know, I've talked to that man one-on-one. And believe me, he wasn't talking, it was nothing like you would see on the presidential stage, you know. But again,
yeah, well, black people gotta learn how to code switch. I mean, that's part of the racial fabric of America. We gotta learn how to code switch.
Yeah, I mean,
that was my point. Yeah, so what Bill was saying was to finish with the, you know, and I'm talking to multiple people, like the pastor over here, his whole church, they go to all the way. But, you know, I can say that when I've had these conversations of, wow, won't you just vote for him? Like, if you don't be for the community, you know, he's have great ideas. It's more than that. Chicago is the most political city in the whole nation.
Absolutely.
Like, if you can't survive the politics here, then you just cannot survive. And so the fact of the matter is that you're not just being the mayor for, you know, us here in Chicago, but you got to be able to interact with all levels of government in order to get what needs to be, you know, had for Chicago. And that's what the concern is.
Yeah.
So you cannot seek and gain the respect from others, whoever those other politicians are. That's where the problem comes in. And I can say for Biden, the reason why Biden won is just that people were just so ready for Trump to get out of office. They would have voted for anybody. Like as it is, like had this not been such an urgency, trying to, get Trump out of office. Oh, no, my son in the background. Anyway, if it hadn't been for that, I don't think Biden would have put there.
Yeah, see that, and I feel that, you know what, but like we replace racist Paw with unintelligible Paw, because like Biden ain't that, you feel me? But that's the illusion of choice when it comes to the political system that's run here in America. They make us think that we are actually choosing the lesser of two evils, when in fact we're just choosing who they want us. Well, they are choosing who they want to be there. That's why we have the system the way it is, which sucks for us because we don't actually get what we're actually looking for. Because I don't think anybody in their right mind would have wanted Joe Biden to be president. It's just what it is. Constance, you were saying something, though. I wanted to let you get back up in here.
Okay, so just to go back, again, we haven't said that Jamal Green, he's hard to understand, or Brendan Johnson, he's hard to understand, or Chris Paul, he's hard to understand. So the whole consensus of it and the whole popular opinion is the one thing that may be standing in the way of voters voting for Willie Wilson is that whole speech thing, and they can't understand. It's not a hater thing. It's not that. Now, also, when I was going back to Barack Obama, I was not saying that the way that he spoke. I'm saying that the way that people were able to corral the vote, right? See, people get in office because we don't look at lower elections. Once we get to the presidential election, it's pretty much set, because we walk past all the other elections. When we're putting people in state places and we're putting people in Congress, we're putting these people in here. That's already set. We never even made a choice at that level. And so that's why I was going back to say, and not to cut you off, Mosaic, but I was going back to say that we have to corral our people at those smaller levels. So once the presidential elections and stuff start to come up, we have a voice. We have no voice now. Well, what you say, DeAndre, 30-some% of the people voted?
Yeah, under 30%.
Right. So we have no voice once we get to mayor. If only 30-some% of people are voting at the mayoral level, then imagine how many people are voting at the state rep level.
Well,
It depends. Because our state reps cover more areas.
But this is the reason why a place say like Oak Park. And I always will say that there's a direct correlation between your voting prowess and the way your community looks. Communities that vote, they get things. Because politics is the relationships to the resources. So you got to have a relationship with the process of voting in order to get any resources for your community. So Oak Park, which is very well represented, will come out and vote. Therefore, their community has things. So our state reps that share space with an Oak Park and a River Forest and some of the other more affluent western suburban areas, right? Even when you get to the more western suburbs like Maywood and Broadview and some of these other areas, they don't vote either. Predominantly black though. So our state reps, they will always, in the federal government, state government, and the local government, will always respond with resources to the areas in which they are going to get votes.
Well, let's go back some years then. Well, what happened when Harold Washington won? I want to say there was a large.
I went there. What did he win, man? 85?
83.
He won. I wasn't even born, man.
But I'm saying that had to do with look what happened to the resources, though. I'm just saying he got a large amount of the black vote.
Right.
It didn't happen until his last term when we started seeing things, transfer.
Last year of his term,
his second term.
He had how many terms did he have?
He went into the second term. And he died in office.
Okay.
But that's when we started to see things happening on the west side. The Central was the corridor, but they started putting money into it, and then it just cut off after that. I mean, you're pretty much right about where the votes are,
right?
because at that time I do know there was a large amount of blacks that have voted. And then if you think about this historically throughout the nation, they always talk about the black vote. So
They always talk about the black vote.
So then
Always
are
talk
you?
about it.
They're saying it because we're not voting enough?
Yeah.
No, they're saying it because we're the ones that's pulling them through.
Well, what I would say is we don't vote enough, but for the ones that do vote, they understand the necessity of trying to go get it though, because it matters. It isn't as if it doesn't matter, but what we have to realize, what we're facing is the Latino population study having an influx, whether it's coming from across the border or it's being naturalized citizens being born here. They are very much so obtaining political power clearly in our faces. And I'm not trying to pit us against that group, but the understanding is you do for your own. Nobody on this call right now gonna say they would rather go do for somebody else before they do for their own house. Any type of change, any type of development starts first internally, then within your family, then in your community. And then after all that's taken care of, you can figure out the other part. So for us that have the opportunity right now, and we're losing it, we have to figure out a better way to do what we're already doing 10 times better, 100 times better, because that group is fast advancing. And there's going to be a time where we're going to less and less hear the black vote matters, and then we got to go get the Latino vote. And the black vote going to be relegated to, they just clean up. But that person that bat third or whatever, they just clean up, you know? So, I mean, that's just the facts of the matter. That's what we're facing right now.
Right.
You
if they can organize.
I don't know if I mean they got a lot of leaders. They have a lot of leaders. We got to be cognizant of the leadership that they have. A lot of these people, Carlos Ramirez Rosa or Rosa Ramirez, right? 35th district, part of UN 35 that helped to endorse Angelica, or that has endorsed Angelica. He's one of the more fastly advancing council members. You know, he actually ran for Congress. And at some point, I'm sure he's going to try another run in a different position. He's going to continue to build his political prowess. But you also got Delia Ramirez. You also have Evelina Delgado. Right. You also have, I get it. Going on. I get it. But we, as black folks, don't live in there. I think it's a misnomer to believe that Latino people, Hispanic people are not voting. Somebody put them in there.
Well, as you just said it, they have a lot of leaders. Yeah. Or do they have a lot of people voting for them? That number ain't never yet been said. That's, again, I've been saying this for 25, 30 years. What is the Latino vote? Is it 30% of the populace? People that they're actually coming out and voting? Is it 20%, 15%? What is it? Because having a lot of leaders just means you got a bunch of smart people that know how to pimp a whole bunch of people that ain't doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, they might get 3,000 votes, and they got 300,000 people living in their district. I'm just saying, that's all it takes.
Yeah. And
then you just need a couple smart Latino leaders to say, okay, I'm going to ride this out for what it is, and let's bring another leader, and let's get another leader. But pretty soon you're going to have more Latino leaders than you have people voting for them.
We're going to see. I mean, the way Chicago is set up as a sanctuary city, the individuals that's even come across the border as immigrants can vote.
They can vote.
The way our city's set up, we're a sanctuary city.
Yeah, but you have to have certain criteria to vote, don't you?
Yeah.
DACA just says whether you're a citizen or not, you can vote.
You can vote. You can go to school for free. You can do a lot of things under DACA now.
I never heard that one. You can just vote.
If you come in under DACA, I've been fighting for the same little 25,000 for I don't know how long. If you come through DACA, it's an automatic 30 G's on the transfer. It's an automatic 30 G's under DACA.
So what is DACA? What is DACA? Is that for anybody that's an immigrant?
It's for basically basically immigrants who come over to United States and try to get their paperwork done.
Okay, so that could be Haitians, that could be
No, it's just Hispanic people. It's only Hispanic. Oh, yeah, it's Hispanic only.
Yeah, we need to get rid of that.
It's DACA.
Wait, they're dropping busloads of immigrants out from Texas, from other places, and not just Chicago. They come into all, different cities, but it's their mayors. They went to some cities, and their mayor was like, they go back on their bus to the U.S. from. But they come in literally 5 busloads right up under us. Consumed with all this other stuff that's going on.
My boy.
And not
My boy.
and all other stuff that's a distraction. It's a distraction. Meanwhile, these people are coming here, you can't speak the language, y'all coming here, they language, speak the language, you got to free language, while you working, try to go to school.
Man, listen.
We up against a lot.
We up against a lot.
We up against a lot. I think. What you
finna
say something, Mosaic?
No, I agree with what she's saying. You feel me? I mean, I'm all for refugees. Even in a worse condition. They fear for their life. Running from the jail, things of that nature. But it's like they do more for refugees than black people. So like across the street from where I'm at now, there's a refugee building, and they came from Syria. I know it was. So, and it's like 2030, and it's all in this building, and they'll make it harder for somebody. They'll make it harder in apartment, north side Chicago, but they will move refugees from another country on the north side of Chicago in a nice area, in a nice building. They go to a nice north side of Chicago. Why they don't move the refugees in Inglewood? They'll never do that. They never put the refugees in Inglewood.
Yeah, they put them in Woodline. They put them in Woodline.
They put them in Woodline?
Yeah, that's been the biggest thing they've been talking about. But I was going to say this. Do you know who the fastest growing population in America is? What group? No, DeAndre just said
Asian.
Think about that now. Asian doesn't just mean from the Orient or you got the all of Asia. All of Asia from India, Pakistan.
You know what was interesting? They never realized it. I was walking down Arlington today, where I'm at over in the island doing my door knocking. And it was one of the buildings right there. Both sides. The big Indian family right there. I saw the door and I'm like, oh, this is. It had to be like maybe a 6 unit. The whole building was an Indian family.
Yeah, they're the fastest growing.
Yeah.
People not really watching that, but we get, like you said, DACA. I really want to know what that encompasses, because I don't know if it stands for all immigrants or just a certain segment of immigrants.
It's Hispanic. So it covers. I haven't read the whole, but from my understanding of it, and it's kind of like I read this one page. It's mostly for Hispanic. I think it came up in maybe 2015, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not super old, But again, it gives them the opportunity. And to go back to Mosaic, refugees. If you escape us somewhere and it's terrible there, I get it, but it ain't just conditions, right? Because it's one thing to say, yeah, come over here, help America thrive, help our economy, right? And you're a part of it, right? But no, come over here, get your money, send your money back, and now help your economy thrive. That's a different thing. So, totally, but like I always say, only how our people gonna get it together, man, is if we stand together. If we educate each other, if we, start really supporting each other's businesses and really, circling the money, making the dollar go back to us, we don't have a voice. Because I don't care what color you is, you respect green. What color you are, you respect that green. So until we get that kind of power until we get that to where we can always stand together. We the only race that don't really stand together. Why are we so divided?
Condition.
Right? Because that's really how we all came into this. It ain't, we ain't come with no silver spoon. You know, some did. Some people, families made good money, made good businesses back then. Like my grandfather, he was born in 1916 and struggled to come to Chicago from New York. And you know, the people that was from New York was people coming over from Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but to make it, and, you know, to go back to the roots, and I get it, but even my grandfather was older than me. He did not speak in that way. You know, he didn't have really that much of an education. You know, so I think we just need to educate our people and stand together, stop letting every stupid thing divide us, educate ourselves on what's going on. Like I always say, I went to school for free. I figured it out. And what I do is I pass that on to my people. Hey, you want to go to school? You want to go to school for free? Okay, not only fits the steps, let me show you how. Because we always say, oh, well, this is how you do it, but never really show people how to do stuff, you know. But this is how you can get it, but never really walk them down the path and say, okay, this is how you go. Step one, step two, step three. So that's all I ain't gonna talk to them. So go ahead, John.
Yeah. Barry.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yep.
I just want to say, Constance, I agree with so much of what you're saying. I think the main thing is we need to come together and work with each other. So thank you for voicing that.
Yep.
Let me be clear. Constant, what is your real name? Because I'm just
My
saying.
name is Constance Melton.
Okay. Constant Melton.
So my middle name, so my middle name is Luala, right? And that was my grandmother's name. So I have
that was our grandma's name too.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go. We cleared that up.
What happened?
I said we cleared that up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought maybe you had some reference on that.
No.
Sure.
The only thing I could say in regards to Willie Wilson and all the other candidates, I've never seen it like this, where we can't just come to one conclusion and figure out who's going to represent Black people. You know, everybody's trying to find a way to vote against something, but nobody's voting for something. You know, who do you want? That's the way it used to be. Who do you want? Who is it that you want to see in this position? Other than, I'd rather see this other person there because I don't like this other person. Okay. But who do you really want? Who can take care of all of the things that are on the table or represent themselves to take care of all the things that are on the table and go for it? Because right now, we have what?
30.
30 people.
Now what?
As far as candidates.
Nah.
What are you talking about, 30? What's the 30?
No, I thought you were going to say 30 days.
Oh, 30 days. So 30 days, but I'm saying candidate-wise, from here, we're talking, what, 7, 8, 9 people? 9 people, and, you know, hey.
4 or 5 of them Black?
No, I think all of them Black minus 2.
Yeah, outside of
2 people.
Yeah.
Paul
Vallis and yeah, that's it. And outside of Paul Vallis and Garcia.
Look, when Harold Washington,
Black votes.
when Harold Washington won, when Harold Washington won, they had a big meeting at what they call the mansion, which was Lou Palmer's mansion on 36 and King Drive. And all of the people from the West Side, Danny Davis included, and Cliff Kelly, and Miss Davenport, and I mean almost who's who that you can think of back in the day. They all met and said, you know what, Harold's gonna be the guy, and we all gonna get behind him, and that's what they did. But like you said, now it's like everybody's doing everything. Like people saying, somebody said to me, you know, they're trying to eat. I don't think they're trying to eat. I think they're just slinging food everywhere because they're all eating. minus Jamal. Jamal ain't, he I don't know where he's at with things, but he don't have a steady job. So you tell me, are they trying to eat
I
it?
think what's happening too is people like to use, not to say that they don't want to be mayor, but you also get a lot of visibility in recognition when you are running for mayor. You run into certain people, you're networking, it helps to build your brand as well. So it is
Absolutely.
beneficial.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Huh?
That's exactly what it is.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
That's exactly
Yeah, so
what it is.
there are still benefits, even though you don't have the strongest, chance of winning. Your name is still being, in certain rooms. You're going around doing all of these mayoral, forums, and it just gives you a little bit more clout. So not to say that they won't run again. This is something that they actually want to do, but they won't bypass this process to support one person because then that eliminates their opportunity for visibility when they feel like it will be their turn. That's my thought on it.
No, you
No, you're right.
You hit it right on the button.
That's correct.
You're right.
That's exactly what it is. But
But it's really the whole crab in the barrel, though, right?
it's being
Because
selfish.
really,
It's
and
selfishness.
it actually don't take multiple. In a world how they think it's gonna, no one person can do that, and that's what we making the mistake at.
Right.
No one person can do that. No mayor has gotten in here, and they think that's too much. So actually, what about if we could take 3 of them? We might get some progress.
What do you mean by
But
3?
again, that's that everybody want to be, everybody want to be the lead, everybody want to be the mayor. But we're the first tier now, and I'm excited about this. I think it's,
My thing is,
everyone who's running for that, we push accountability. We have to understand that we have a responsibility.
my thing is, why does it all these millionaires and billionaires want to be politicians? It's like a little toy game for them or something.
Most definitely. It's the same reason why.
Rauner.
No, it's the same reason why millionaires and billionaires are NBA owners. They come from a tech world, but they want to own an NBA team. It's the same reason. Because you get to control everything.
Yeah, but you putting your money right on that. You're gonna make more money off of that.
Yeah, but you stand to make more money being in politics too.
Yeah.
So I was trying to tell my brother and them this, that politics and business are synonymous. And I'm telling them in the sense that
in the capitalist society,
people that the higher you go in terms of money, in terms of earning, the more involved with politics you're going to become. It's inevitable.
Oh, yeah.
But I also said that Black people get into politics and they don't understand how to leverage themselves such that they don't need politics and only politics. We have too many broke politicians that are Black. And I'm saying that because this is the stuff that I said Congressman Davis might say. You know what I'm saying? He said that white people get into office and they hold various other positions. They may be a lawyer, they may be a consultant, they may be whatever else they're going to be, but they're not just what Black people do. And my brothers and them always say is one of the reasons why is because, like myself, we get in with the idea of wanting to figure out how to best save our community or just come up with ideas to move the culture forward, so to speak, versus instilling really good money-making habits. Now, I told him that doesn't apply to me because I'm coming in with the idea of how I know how to make some money. And I know based off the skill set that I've acquired what I would like to do in addition to being a politician to make some money. So I understand how to utilize social. I don't use it that good now, only because I don't care so much about it. But I understand that YouTube is a stream of revenue. So if I'm in an elected office position, why not utilize a platform like this to build my constituency so that when I'm addressing them, I can make money while being in that position? Why not write a book? Why not have a publicist that can go book me speaking engagements? Why not do a TED Talk to continue to build my brand? Black people sitting there want to run for mayor to build a brand instead of utilizing all these tools in front of them to make more money in order to build themselves as a brand.
Brandon Johnson talks so damn good he need to have a TED Talk.
Hmm.
Where's Brandon Johnson's goddamn TED Talk? I'm just no damn ass though. You don't have to run for mayor.
Well,
No, I mean, but that's true though. But we get into the position and don't figure out how to leverage it to make more money for ourselves.
Because black people really, you know, I think another thing that plagues black community, we got too many distractions. You feel me? I'm running for mayor in 10 years. You know, not now, but in about 10 years I'll be running. And you know, a lot of things that I think we need to start getting rid of in the black community. You know, we need to bring back uniform. I don't give a damn. Elementary and high school, you're gonna wear a uniform. So another thing we need to bring back, you know, not bring back, but we need to change the radio station. Change the radio station. You feel me? Like we can't keep putting like we gotta hold these radio stations accountable for something poison or that gets put off in the airway. You know? We got a lot of ratchet music, you know what I'm saying, ratchet culture, you feel me? And so, you know, us black people, we the least shameful people.
I'm going to tell you a little secret.
Drugs out in the open, we stand on the corner, about 15, 20 people selling the same product. The women don't care where they twerk and shake their ass at. We don't care that the music is detrimental, you feel me? Like, we like GTI plays drill music. You know what I'm saying? Rap, drill music that's not about nothing but shooting people. We got too many distractions. That's why we don't got too many prominent black people coming out of
I don't think young black people listen to radio anymore.
Oh yeah, no, people still listen to radio.
No, I'm saying young black people. Impressionable young black people. I don't know about that.
Yeah, no. Yo, young black people listen to the radio. If young black people didn't listen to the radio, they wouldn't play young black people music. Because 60-year-olds not listening to, you know, again, I can name these people, you wouldn't even know who they is. But I'm pretty sure you could ask.
No, I'm saying when I say young, I'm talking about like kids, teenagers and stuff. I don't think they listen to them.
Listen. When a teenager get in the car with his young 30-something-year-old mom, with a young mom, you feel me? Like my daughter is 10, you feel me? So when she get inside the car with her mama, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what you think? When she listening to the same drill music, rap music, you feel me? So these kids are listening to the music.
So it's really not. It's not. I'm gonna go back to something that Chief of Police said to me at a dinner with the mayor, and we were sitting at the table, and this judge put the Chief of Police on front. That's Eddie Johnson, and I'm sitting next to Eddie Johnson. Eddie Johnson sitting next to the mayor, and this judge says, "What are we gonna do about all this crime? What are we gonna do about the gun violence?" And the mayor was eating her gumbo. She kept sipping on her gumbo, cut her eyes at Eddie Johnson. He rolled his head around to me and said, "Well, Steve, you know what? It's the parents." And I'm like, "You goddamn right, it's the parents. Them the ones out here doing all the shooting and killings. People between the age of 20 and 35 years old. It ain't really all these, you know, younger people."
Right.
But you just proved it. It's the parents that still carrying the bull crap on because that's what they into. They letting their kids hear. They letting their kids do it. You know?
Well, I will say it is a lot of the young kids too, because I've known some young shooters. You feel me?
But shoot, lately, it was looking like for a minute it was everybody that already had kids doing all this craziness.
Now, and then if you look, it's a video that surfaced around of a high school student graduating. And on the way to the graduation, they had made a TikTok or Instagram story, and all of the kids came to school with Glocks with 30 round extended magazine switches. They like, yeah, my nigga graduated. Shout out to them, congratulations. Young Chicago teenagers walking around with guns.
Right. I hear
So
you.
you feel me? It's definitely a lot of these kids because they're the most impressionable. They think it's cool to walk around with the guns and surgical gloves and surgical mask, and you know what I'm saying. So
Right.
yeah,
He said, yeah, Willie Wilson.
Man. All right, y'all.
No, I was gonna say, I hate to say it though, it ain't gonna be Willie.
Yeah.
I mean, I voted for him the last go around
Dr. Wilson.
back in 15, but I don't know about
First name Willie, last name Wilson.
Willie never proclaimed what party he rolling with, did he? Anybody know? What party is Willie rolling with? Has he ever proclaimed it?
you know, that I'm not sure if he's different, but if he's Republican, you know, black people start thinking more conservative. Black people are conservative by nature. We are conservative people. We are bootstrap people. We are not democratic, handout type people. Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look what we was doing all up in Tulsa. You feel me? I mean, look at the strides we came. You know, we make we can make the greatest of everything. So, you know, I think we need to start getting back to our conservative Republican roots.
Right.
Right. Most black people was voting Republican up until what? JFK?
Come on now.
Up until when? What'd you say?
Around the JFK.
Oh, I don't know. I know that everything switched over in the 30s from the Dixiecrats to the Republicans.
So like my mom, my aunt, and my mom was a diehard Republican. And she, you know, just the different, their views was different. And over the years, it started to kind of degrade and more black people, you know, kind of appealed to the Democratic Party. But and when I looked it up, most of the black people back in the 50s and, you know, early 60s and so they were voting Republican.
If they could vote.
Yeah.
Because you had to pay.
And it's not the black Democrat I'm worried about. It's the white liberal. Malcolm X said, watch out for the white liberal.
You better keep an eye out.
He act like he help you out.
Smile in your face all the time. Will take your place. Backstab.
Democrats been in power for how long? We had Bush. At least we got a little stimulus from them. But
you say Democrats been in there for how long?
And how have
in the last 50 years, you've had 3 Democratic presidents.
Bill Clinton was the best.
Obama did nothing.
You had Obama. You had Clinton.
On the grand scheme, yeah. And everybody's agenda. Nobody's gonna be able to really follow the agenda. If they do, they're gonna get assassinated.
It's just funny when I hear people say Democrats been in control. I'm like, you only had 3 Democratic presidents in 50-something years. The rest, and then the state of Illinois was a red state.
FDR.
It was always considered a red state with a Democratic city. And then all of a sudden it turned purple, and then it turned blue. So
right. Everything outside of Cook County is still red, though.
Yeah, but they consider this as a Democratic state.
A state? Because we got Democratic.
And then you got to think about it. We've only had 3 Democratic governors in 70 years. We ain't had no Democratic governors, man. It's always been Republican governors here. And then you know what? They always came from the Secretary of State. Majority of them came from being Secretary of State, then they went to be governors.
All right, y'all. Let the show go on, man, because we started super late. So we just wanted to see what y'all wanted to talk about tonight. Listen, we do this thing every Sunday from 6 to 8. And there's various ways to interact with the show, the Facebook, the Zoom, and the YouTube. Always before we cut it off, though, go around and we talk to the Zoom. For y'all that's held on with us this long, what's your final thought? I'm going to start with you, Barry. Barry? I'm going to start with you, Mosaic.
Yeah,
final thoughts.
Final thought, man. Listen, y'all. Let's stop playing, man. Let's get Willie Wilson that W. You know what I'm saying? Dre running for district council.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this: do you know what day you got to get out there?
Oh no, I told DeAndre to make sure he remind me.
You got to go. Early voting started now. Early voting already started. You can go to the early voting sites as of now. And then if you want to do what is it called?
Super sites right now.
Sites or mail-ins are already started.
Yeah, I got my mailer.
Oh, they doing best. See, that's what I don't like. See, that's another trick. That's another Democratic trick. Mail in. I don't like that because they gonna mess up the votes for Willie Wilson. They gonna look at the mail. They gonna rip it up.
That's why we telling you to make sure you get down to that site and punch your number.
We gonna vote for Willie Wilson, and for my final thought is like, look, DeAndre Lucas is running for district council.
Facts.
Send us donations.
Donos.
We
use a few more donos.
Send us donations. Y'all know how much the signs cost? Y'all know how much it costs to run advertisements on Facebook?
Man.
Do y'all know how much time it costs to walk up and down the block? And I gotta listen to him say, how's it going? My name is DeAndre. We're going to run for district council. What we doing is we initiate a police. And I know the whole script.
You've been out there with him.
Basically, you feel me? I'm fucking lying. You see, I really do. But come on, y'all go out there and vote. You hear me?
All you got to do is to vote. Look, all he wants is one day. That's election day to be at one of the polling sites.
Man,
that's all he wants.
Oh man, most
big day. That's a big day. Yes, Lord.
And also, Angelica, she running. Vote.
Gang. That's gang. Elise, and you got Constance. She running too.
Constance, yeah. On God, get them sisters in there.
Yeah. Yes, Lord. All right, Barry.
That's all for me.
Barry. Barry, you back?
Yeah. Yep.
What's up, Barry?
Yeah. So, my main thought is we need to come together, and the rest is distraction. The system's going down the tubes, and we need to help each other. I just don't see that. So that's fine.
Yes.
Good show. Take care.
All right, Barry.
Come together.
Constance.
Okay, hey everybody. Final thoughts, just piggybacking on what everyone said, come out February 28th. But also, as Mosaic was saying, come out to support the district councils, right? If 3 of us that's gotta go, we're gonna go, right?
Facts.
So it's not just the one person, but you also want people like, how DeAndre and I and a couple other people, we really work together. We got 7 people in ours or 6 in ours?
7. Yeah, 7.
And you really only see 3 of us.
Yeah, I don't know everybody else
and I kind of about them beforehand, even before this election, came about. I saw DeAndre out there. I saw Karen Lynch was out there, So I kind of saw people out there doing their thing. So I just say as Barry said, man, stick together. Come out February 28th. If everyone leaves their email, we're having an event on February 4th. Don't forget, come out 5900 West Iowa.
Yeah.
That's our candidacy forum hosted by Chris Calafero's office. I also have a meeting after that at Alderman Mitt's office that I am hosting, where we will be teaching, showing and assisting people how to vote or making sure that they're registered to vote. So Mosaic, if you need help or whatever, man, come out. We don't have food. Don't worry, we don't have some food. Come out and have a good time. It's so many people you can meet. I've met so many people along this way and in this journey. So I'm grateful for it, man, and I'm gonna give it everything I got.
Yes, Lord. Guala, you on there, Guala? It's quiet tonight, man. Guala, you on there? Well. All right, Steve. Oh, wait. Yeah, Steve.
I just want to say thank everybody for coming on because you came in a little late. And hey, we got a lot of work, people. A lot of work. but we gotta get the lines of communication on track.
That's a Fendi. All right, y'all. So for me, I just want to say, February 28th, we got 38. We got 30 days left before the newly elected members of community take their position to hold the Chicago police accountable. And times like these, when situations like Tyree Nichols comes across the screen and it shows the brutality in which Chicago officers treat humans with, that just underscores the importance of history that will be made February 28th. I know we got mayor and I know we got aldermen, but district council needs the attention that it deserves. So select the best 3 people that you believe will make the best difference and provide the most service for the people in the community as it relates to these district councils, and just do your thing. And tell somebody else that don't know about the district councils because the information needs to be shared. Other than that, we do the show every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. We have various ways to interact. We got the Facebook, the Zoom, or the YouTube. You choose what's best for you. In closing, like I like to say, we have many open seats at the table. We just trying to welcome y'all on home. Thank y'all for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council.
So good night, all.
Good night. Good show, man. Good night.
You shut it off from there?
Yeah.